Tuesday morning, plenty of rain overnight. Just wondering, is 4 of them too much? Does it make the yards look too busy? Maybe when I've cast them into narrower strips, we'll see. When we tip the trucks, it's hard to see the roof, so I'm going to put these magnets onto here so we can magnet the containers. So when we tip them, we'll see how close they get to the roof, because we'll see the pole move before the container. That's the early warning system. So we'll magnet that at ground level onto the containers. As it tips, if we see them moving, we know it's getting near the roof. This pushes on JCB brackets, and it's all right for sort of floating up a pile of grain because it just wobbles up. But this maize stuff's a bit stiffer, so we want a bottom peg on it. I'm going to back it in the workshop now and then put another rail across the bottom and add a tongue to it so it's fixed the Merlo and clicks on properly. So what I need to do is put that tongue there so it clips on. That's blown, it looks like it's had frost in it. So I need to find something to pack of that up a little bit and then sit that tongue in. This is cracked all the way along. I think it's had water and the frost blown it, but it has cracked down there, so I'll weld that up before we start. Chase that out a bit now, so I'll weld it up. I reckon it'll take me longer to weld that than it will to put the tongue on, wherever it's gone. Looks like a robot's welded that. If you haven't subscribed, it costs you nothing and it's worth subscribing just for that weld. We've got that now in the right place on that steel. We'll offer that in now, tack that in place. Then we can take it off the Merlo and weld it up properly and put some support in the back. That's tacked on now, so I'm just going to see if it'll take on and off before I weld it up solid. I don't want to have it too tight. I've magneted them on, stick it up high, so when we see them move, we know it's getting close to the roof. While we tip that, T&J just weighing out, they've been for a load of wheat, so stuff in and out today. That's the early warning device. So when that starts to flex, we know it's close. That's what's blowing out this one. Could have been a robot welded that. There we go. Perfect. All finished now, I'll take it back to the grain store. Andrew's just putting the cover crop seed into the hoppers and having a bit of a tidy up. Fix the little Merlo, let's see if it fits the big Merlo. Sounds a promising click. Yep. We have got a longer pusher, but because this doesn't roll as much as OSR, probably won't need to use it. Got to be really gentle with the big long one, because if you just lift up a bit too much, you can soon put it through the roof. One of the wheat temperature sensors in the pile of wheat, which seem to be having an influence of ambient temperature. Now, when Oscar put them in the other day, he's not pushed them in the pile far enough, so I'm just gonna go up and shove them in better. Andrew and Reese have been rearranging everything in here. We had a pile of wheat sort of like not very high, so they've condensed all that back. There's a bag of barley left up there, bag of different variety. That's that one. Let me just clean the lens. So that's that. Then that's Reese's spelling of Facelia, which is probably how Adam might have spelt it. That's full of Facelia, that's full of black oats, and that's full of buckwheat, and then there's 2 different things on the top as well. So that's a lot neater and tidier. We've got this bay back, most of that bay back. This one only really had the lawnmower part in it. That's had a bit of a rejig. This gearbox what's left of this back end of this 1690 can go outside. That's some banners and bits and bobs for doing stuff in London. That can now go up on top of the fertiliser out the way. That cab's going to go there by the Euro. That's going to be tidied up there. Some toys for the kids that I was given. Need to have a look at them. Weights can go over there. Bread tin, next dry day. It's going through the chipper and we're going to spread it on the grassland for the birds to eat. And that doesn't have to be stored inside because we've been storing that inside for 18 months. And we should have most of this shed back. And we could probably get the header back in it as well then, because the headers at the moment still living outside, which isn't ideal. So we're just a big tidy up today. Yeah, we've got some off-cut timber off my mum's, whatever it was called, decking-y kind of boaty thing. They're the sheets off the old weighbridge, which will then go in the back of that shed. So that's a dry day job really, because we don't want the water coming off the roof when we're nailing them on. Yeah, and then we'll get ready to concrete them. Stu broke down yesterday with his pickup in the middle of nowhere. So, well, not in the middle of nowhere, in people's way. So he quickly come and grabbed a tractor and load and put his pickup on it, and he's brought the load of wood back this morning. John's just doing a bit of chipping. My mum's collared Reese to put some evergreen on the buggy for her making reeves in a few weeks, so he's taking that for my mum. Yeah, John's gonna put that in, top that trail up. Sounds like Ian's in here sorting seed socks. We'll go and have a look actually, shall we see? Can't wait to see what these look like when they're cast. We're just going to squeeze them tight before we cast them to make them longer and narrower than fatter and wider. Let's have a look. Oh, I was going to film you. I could hear the sellotape going. See what's going on.
Fast, you see.
I thought you heard the kettle.
Did you film it yesterday?
No.
Oh, because it hasn't changed much.
Oh. So these are the naked seed socks here.
You don't look at this pile because this is the depressing pile. This is the happy pile.
So there they all are. Complete with instructions. What we're going to put on a pallet? 30.
Yeah.
30, and then they'll be on the way off to Spalding's, which you can see on the. You can't see the logo, can you? Ta-da! They're on the way to there, and then that's off, and the other bits and bobs in the pigeonholes. It's hot in here. Have you got a heater in here?
No.
Why is it so warm in here? Huh? You sweating? Here we go with Rip Off Britain. So not only have they spent $500,000 revamping the website, they're now charging me £640 to register exemptions that used to be free. So they're like exemptions so that you can like use road planings on farms or chip wood or things like that, and now it's so much for this, so much that. It's £200 to store sludge cake. So the whole thing adds up to 640 quid of a stealth tax that people don't see, but it's just another cost to the business. Everyone somewhere wants to take money off me, and I've had to do the work. I've just spent half an hour or longer filling in a big form for them to then charge me. Just all the time, someone wants money for you doing the work. Look at us all stood watching the door. We're seeing how big the roll gets to see if you box it in behind this thing, whether it'd be
Just a bit bigger.
Yeah, it's only the lower one. It's not, that one's not in now. But yeah, we just need to come down and make a box. Stop the draft.
Suppose if you got it flush to there,
You could put a brush on it.
it's not going to be harder than that though, is it, when you put the front on it?
Yeah. I'm back in the wheat shed because I've been reading the temperature sensors and they've been set a bit low. So it's only been coming on once it drops to 12 degrees. Well, some of this is still about 20. So I've been changing the temperature sensors so that it'll come on a bit sooner, especially now we're getting some colder nights. So I'm just going along now. Yeah, this is the same. So 16.6 degrees at the back of the shed currently. And that's set to turn on when it gets to 12 degrees. But I say the grain's around 20, so I'll change that so that once it drops below 17 it comes on. And in a few days I'll change it back once we've got it a bit cooler. To be honest, that's in the pile at 17.2. So I'm going to change it into the cooling plug, and then it'll keep cooling it then until it drops to 11.9. Don't forget, it's Agritechnica next week in Germany. I'll be over there and I'll be on the Alliance stand, I think, at about 10 o'clock on the Tuesday. If you're there, come and say hi. What else was I going to say? Yeah, who's going? Let me know in the comments. It started chucking it down outside, so what I've done is, ta-da! I've done the 2 birthdays, but I've got that tyre wrong. So Andrew Simons, happy birthday, and John J.M. Murray, happy birthday to you too. John is 40, yeah. I drew a Bateman on that whiteboard there, but I didn't really have enough room and I got that tyre wrong anyway. Yeah, that's all for today. I've been doing stuff on the computer, so it's not been particularly interesting, but I have obviously done that pusher. We had a container before as well. I didn't really get a chance to do much filming, but it was sticking, and as they were tipping it, it was trying to wobble. So we had to go in with a little bucket and dig as much out as we could, take a load of weight out of it, and then it tipped fine. It was kind of loaded a little bit wonky. But yeah, they've been coming over, obviously, and they're all sort of within 20 kilos of each other. So wherever they've filled them, they've obviously filled them on a scales, and it's been like cutting out when it's got the right weight in. Anyway, I'm completely doing an Andrew Ward and waffling. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. In fact, no, there's a quiz question. Who's coming tomorrow? There's someone coming to visit. I don't think anyone will guess who it is, but see if you can anyway. And yeah, bye for now.